I just might be in your hood.
Fuck out of here, man. You dumbass niggas. You niggas is silly out here trying to look cute and shit, man.
I
Don't
just
play,
might
man.
be
This shit's
in your
serious, bro. Niggas wanna come talk to me about all this dumb shit.
Yo. What's going on, YouTube? Lil Phil checking in, man, live. Well, you know. So, I got a story to tell y'all, man. So, bear with me. So, the story, the way it went was, I left out of New Orleans with a load, and I was heading up North 55. And I got crossed over to Mississippi. And usually you got the pre-passes or whatever and stuff like that. Well, this time this wasn't on. So the weigh station was wide open. And I pulled in. Now, I bet I'm fidgeting a lot. So what happened was I pulled in on the scale, and mind you, it was probably around 6:30 in the evening. I pull on the scale and it said exit. So as I'm pulling on the scale and kind of going off of it, you know how trucks kind of just keep going, they don't really stop. Well, right before it passed my eye view, I saw it said park. I'm like, oh my goodness, I really wanted to act like I didn't see that shit. You know, maybe the D.O.T. decided at the last second, like, you know, let him park or whatever, but you know, maybe they would have been like, well, he didn't really see it. We kind of flipped it too late. Oh, well, we're not going to chase him. It could have been one of them scenarios, but that's risky. So since I did see it flip at the corner of my eye, I just went ahead and parked. So while I was going over to park, you know, I stopped. You know, they already walking out to your truck, you know, make sure you ain't doing anything funny, whatever, right? So I had this young guy, and he walked up to the truck, and he was like, man, you know, let me see your license. So, you know, I'm like, sure. I gave him the license or whatever the case is. And he was like, you know, where are you picking up from? I said, New Orleans. He asked me where I was going, and I told him. So he goes and start checking my lights on my truck, you know, high beams, low beams. Y'all know the routine, you know, y'all truck drivers. Well, I'm assuming my audience is truck drivers. I'm not sure if anybody isn't or who is and who isn't. So, you know, they check the high beams, low beams, the blinkers, the windshield washers, the horn, the big horn. And, you know, he did that around the trailer. And then he was checking my load security, you know, on flatbed. So he's checking my chains and straps and all that stuff. Luckily, I stopped in Hammond. Not stopped, but I pulled off to the side of the shoulder because I wanted to make sure my stuff was really tight. And it wasn't. So I had to end up retightening everything. And I just did that before I crossed into Mississippi. So luckily, I did catch that. That helped me out a lot. So he checked everything. He kept asking me, man, what's going on, man? Why you nervous? Why you shaking? I'm like, I'm not nervous. I'm not shaking. The reason why I'm like wherever you pertain me to be, because I'm trying to get over to that, you know, the other side so I could take a shower and get something to eat. So he climbed up in the truck. Anybody else in the truck with you? No, he got way up in the truck. I'm talking about way over my body, looking, flashlight, everything. Now, on that note, it was just brought to my attention that if you have a rider with you, you're supposed to have rider insurance. And, you know, me having my own truck, I never pay no attention to, you know, somebody want to ride my truck, come on with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know? But I guess if you had a rider in your truck, I've been told, now, correct me if I'm wrong, comment below, they'll kick the rider out the truck at the weigh station. The rider can't ride with you. So I don't know if that's true or false. I'll be damned if you kicking my ride out the truck. You know, all I'm really probably going to do, truth be told, is have them go to another location, and when I leave, I can go pick them back up. Let's be honest. So, whatever the case is, I don't know how that works. But I know through who I'm leased on with, I know if I were to get the rider insurance, it'll be $80 for the entire year. Not 80 a month, $80 for the entire year. You got to have a solid name of who you want on the policy. I don't know if you can put multiple people in there or not. But yeah, like, you know, if your wife gonna ride with you, your girlfriend or your kids or whatever, you know, solid name, and you know, you go ahead and get it. Then I vape. When I say I vape. So pretty sure a lot of truckers do. or the ones I've seen, like Trucker Brown and them and so on and so forth. I just bought e-juice. So I had it in the bag still. I wish I was in my truck. I had it in the bag still, and I got it from this kind of an old southern country, place. So they got their own little decor with their bag, their gift bags where they put your stuff in. So he was like, what is that on the dash? I said, oh, that's just my vape juice. And he said, does it have any drugs in it or THC? I said, no, why would you think that? He said, well, around the bag it said druggist, DRUGGISTS. And I'm like, nah, man, it ain't got that. I said, that's just the core of the bag. The whole theme of the store is like an old newspaper clip. The way, they have a whole bunch of little newspaper clips on the bag or whatever, and that's their little decor of their bags. So he was like, he take the contents out the bag. So I just took the bag like, yeah, and I pulled them out. I pulled out my little juices. They kind of look like this right here. I had like 3 of them. I just bought 3 of them. And he was like, okay. And then he wanted to see my bill later and stuff like that. So, I gave it to him where the case is. And he wanted to see the registration for the truck and trailer. Now, I have a big binder that have all the trailer registrations of all the trucks that this guy has. The guy leased on with. The trailers and the trucks. So when I'm looking for my trailer registration, I'm going through it. It's in numerical order. So, 51, 52, 53. When I get to 55, I can't find it. I'm like, where the hell is it? So he started looking through it himself. It took me a while to find it. And then he said, oh, it's in the front. I'm like, oh, I don't even know. I skipped over it, man. He's like, I probably figured that make a lot of sense. Put the one that I'm pulling in the front. So he get that. He said, all right, you just grab the rest of your stuff and come inside, finish up the paperwork. We go inside. So while he's filling everything out, everything looks straight. It was a level 2 inspection. Until he asked me, he said, what is the bill rating number on the paper, on your paperwork? I don't see it. And then I couldn't think of it because when I log, I don't put the bill rating numbers. I put I put the shipper and the commodity I'm hauling. With it being flatbed, if I pick up at like, U.S. Steel and I'm carrying coils, I just put U.S. Steel coils. That's it. I mean, there's no really specific thing else I need to put. So when he did that, he said, you got e-logs or you got paper logs? Because he didn't even ask my logs yet. I've been talking to this dude for about 20 minutes. He didn't even ask yet. And then I made the stupid mistake and tell him, I said, I got paper logs, which I am running paper logs, but I could have said e-logs and he would have just left it alone. Because I don't know. But so he's like, oh, go ahead, go get your paper logs. So I go out my truck, get my paper logs, you know what I'm saying? I come back inside, give him the paper logs. So he's looking at them. And he's trying to figure out what I put for the day, the day, as far as, my commodity and stuff. So he's looking at it. So then he started going through it, right? I don't think nothing big deal. You know me, I log good, you know what I'm saying? But he first thing he saw was the drop down. He said one of my 34-hour resets, the next day after the reset, when I went on duty, I didn't put a drop down where I was. Well, I said, officer, I've been in the same spot for 34 hours. So if I go off duty in Chicago, take a 34-hour reset and then drop down, I'm still in Chicago. I've never moved. So he was telling me there was a violation for that, but he couldn't find the violation. I mean, he done went through the FMS. He pulled out the big old FMSCA book. He went online and Googled it. He done asked other DOT officers that was in the office and he couldn't find it. That makes me think there is no violation for it. He just wanted to find something to find, is what I was thinking. But if there is, comment below. Maybe you can help brother out. I ain't in the weigh station no more, so I don't care. But that was one of the things. The second thing, he found that one of my duty statuses was an hour short. When I say an hour short, all right, let's say like this. Chicago, Illinois to St. Louis. Everybody knows about a 4.5 hour drive, depending on how fast you're driving. So picture that scenario, but I logged it in 3.5 hours. So he's like, dang, how did you get from Chicago to St. Louis in 3.5 hours? He like, either you must be speeding or something else is up. He's like, how fast your truck go? I sat there and told him, oh yeah, my truck goes 70 and 75 with my foot on the pedal. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man. So he's going through it again. He started looking at it. He said, I'm going to start doing all the math. He started going through all the law books. And then, he complained again about me in the drop down thing and on another log or whatever the case is. But that was pretty much it. So while he was talking to me, he was already trying to tell me, if I find any falsification in your logs, I'm gonna put you out of service. So I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, you gotta be fucking shitting me. You know what I mean? I can't sit here all for whatever hours, you know what I'm saying? I'm hungry, I need a shower, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So when he started to go write stuff up, like I said, you couldn't find that violation. And he was saying something like, if you log within an hour of where you were supposed to be at, long as it's an hour and not over an hour, they don't find that as falsification, is what he said. I don't know how true or false that is. I don't know what I did. Being on Central really just threw it off. But I don't know what I was doing, man. Maybe I was messed up. Maybe I was asleep. Whatever the case was, trying to do my logs, and I just probably missed an hour. But he didn't put me out of service for it, thank goodness. So everything's good with that. So he really couldn't find anything. So he's gonna ask me, how come you're not on e-logs? So I sit there and say, the company's still working out the kinks. You know what I mean? We got to April 1st. And then he was like, well, be that as it may, you should be on e-logs right now. By December 18th, you technically should have been on e-logs. So I'm gonna put this picture of the violation and let y'all look at it. And then I'm gonna put this picture up to show you what the remark of that violation was. Now, I had a D.O.T. inspection last month, roadside. And the female cop looked through my logbooks and she said nothing about why you don't have electronic logs. So I figured it wasn't a big problem with it. So every state is different. Some people get nitpicky. Some people on some other shit. Ain't really no telling. It is better to cover your ass. So, he gave me a violation for that. So I failed to level 2, which I didn't get my damn bonus, which I'm pissed about. I'm like, all this shit you done ran through. And, electronic logs, really? Okay. So that kind of screwed it up. So, I've been running paper still. I just got my truck back and stuff like that. So I haven't got the time to install it. So right now, as we speak, I'm getting it installed today. And then, as you saw on the thumbnail, we use an app called Big Road. And there's a transponder that you put into the ECM that links to your app on your phone. And then you log like that. So if I were to load it up, it's pretty clean to cut. Mine's a little jailbroke already. I don't even want to tell you about that. But so that was the story. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Kind of crazy, man. Just keep an eye out. Make sure all your stuff is straight. I'm over here doing laundry right now, just chilling. But get back on this road and get back to the money, man. Shout out to y'all. I'm gonna read some of the comments. I try to do this at the end of the video. I'm gonna start doing it. If I start getting comments and stuff like that, I'll respond to them. Let me see here. Shout out to Trayvon Mack. Says stay positive. I am. I'm doing my best, man. I'm really am. Keep a smile on my face. All the BS that happens and I go through. You know what I'm saying? Let me scroll here a little bit. And then shout out to Jonathan C. He commented about another video where he said, instead of climbing on the load, get yourself a skinny, long PVC pipe and put a small slit on the top of it. That way you can slide your edge protectors. I've seen one of those before. I don't know where to get one of those. If I did, I'd definitely use it. So if you watch this video, kind of give me an idea where I can get one from. But yeah, I appreciate the advice. The advice. Let me see here. And shout out to YU. YU commented. It's hard for big dudes in flatbed. I'm 350 pounds. Well, yeah, it can be, but it depends on your stamina. Before I started doing flatbed again, I was in the gym. And I was on the elliptical doing mostly cardio. And when I first started out, I was only doing maybe 1 mile in like 15 minutes, 15, 17 minutes, and that was it. Now I'm up to the point where I can do almost 8 miles in an hour and do a whole hour plus 5-minute cool down. So really getting your stamina up and stuff like that really helps a lot as far as moving around on flatbeds and doing things. I've been lazy with the gym the past couple months, as y'all see all the shit that's been happening. So definitely about to get back on it again. I mean, I do flatbed every day anyway, so that's a workout in itself, if y'all don't already know that. Shout out to Ken Lock. He said, sure, the mechanic got $100. Fancy building paid for by all those rapes. Yeah. Well, I mean, out of that $300 cut, I could probably understand the mechanic getting $100. That might be his pay. You know, who knows what he get paid an hour. But yeah, they definitely get theirs, man. It's definitely rape. I don't agree with it. I feel like they should, factor that into the total price. But, they're not in business to lose money. They're in business to make money, just like myself or you or whomever watching. So, let's see. Shout out to Mac the Trucker. Brother, you need to get Pittsburgh Power. They make a deal. Call the Dorothy. I'll help you out. Oh, it'll help you out with your regen system. I'll try looking into that. I don't know much about what you commented on. It's something I kind of look into and kind of see what you're talking about there. As far as the dash cam comments, I still got it on my list. I haven't ordered it yet. I'm trying to wait till I make a little bit of money first. I'd have been dishing a lot more money out than I'm bringing in, so a lot of stuff that I want to buy is kind of on delay right now, but definitely please believe I'm going to end up getting it, so you ain't even got to worry about that. Shout out to Alexander Smith. Was it giving you problems before the accident? Talking about my regen. No. I just got my knock sensor replaced maybe a month before my truck got hit, and my regen system been running fine. So, that's the answer to your question. Shout out to all the positive comments. Keep your head up. Hopefully it runs good now. Shout out to Ty Heifer. Thomas Rivas, check out your knock sensor by your def tank. Same thing will happen to my truck. That wasn't the issue. Like I said, the guy, I guess he cleaned it out. The nozzles was clogged. And I'm not sure what else he did, but it's been running fine for the past week. So we'll see what happens down the road next couple weeks. But yeah, that is me getting a couple comments out there, y'all. Shout out to keeping it to 100. I always watch your videos, gal. Looking good, man. Like I said, keep it all natural. I commented on your live video. But yeah, other than that, shout out to Jesse J. Do I have a kicker in my truck? Well, I have a system in my truck, and that's probably gonna be a video in one of itself because I'm still working on it. That's kind of where it's at now as far as the plan. So once I get it all finished and nice and neat, which it kind of already is, I just kind of need to get some more stuff. Then I'll probably make a video on that. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I know it's a long video. I'm gonna try to knock it down a little bit before I post. So bear with me, little fella checking out. Thanks for joining in with me, man.